Hello everyone. I've got a bunch of questions regarding assignment 2A, number 10. So I'm planning to lead you through this question here. And let me start with sharing my screen and go over this question right now. So here it said if a firm sells Q tons of a product, the price P received per ton is P equals to 1,000 minus a third of Q. The price the firm has to pay for the product per ton is given by P equals to 800 plus 12, half of a Q. In addition, it must pay transportation cost of $100 per ton. Write an algebraic expression for the firm's profit pi as a function of Q. So here, the first confusion that I got was there are multiple P's. Which one is which? And here the first one is P equals to 1,000 minus 1/3 Q. That is gonna be your income, right? Namely your revenue. The other P, you're purchasing a product in the upper stream, right? So that one is namely raw material. So that's the price of raw material. So here they are both noted as P, but they mean differently. Okay, so here it requires a little bit thinking, a little bit common sense to figure out which one should be considered as revenue and which one should be considered as cost. So let's look at this using my document camera. So here it's 10 2A question number 10. Okay. All right, so let's look at A, where to figure out the profit. But before that, let's write down the information that we got. So it's 1,000 minus a third of Q. And then on the cost side, so this is the revenue side. On the cost side, the first one is P equals to 800 plus half of Q. And second, it's $100 per ton. Okay, and also this is the price per ton as well, right? So they are in the same unit. And now let's look at the revenue. Total revenue equals to price by quantity. So that is 1,000 minus a third of Q by quantity, which is 1,000 Q minus third of Q squared. So that's the first one. And then let's look at total cost. And total cost has two parts. One is the cost of raw material. Again, so here we label it P1 and P2. So that's again P2 by Q. And also a transportation cost, which is $100 per ton. And here we have Q tons. Right? So that's what the question tells us. So then we just plug those in. We have 800 plus half of Q by Q plus 100 Q. That is your total cost, right? So that is 800 Q plus half of Q squared plus 100 Q. So that is 900 Q plus half of Q squared. And then we are asked to find the expression of profit as a function of Q. So we just need to calculate the difference between total revenue and total cost, bearing in mind eventually we're going to have the result being expressed as a function of Q. So that is total revenue is 1,000 Q minus a third of Q squared, right? So that is total revenue minus total cost, 900 Q plus half of Q squared. Okay, so the result is 1,000 Q minus a third of Q squared minus 900 Q minus a half of Q squared. So here, 1,000 Q minus 900 Q, we have 100 Q and minus a third plus a half Q squared. The result is 100 Q minus 5/6 Q squared. So this is the expression of total profit. Okay. Now let's switch to question 2, which is to draw the graph, right? So let me show you the document camera. I'm sorry, switch to the share screen. So here we have an Excel setup here, and it's told that our Q should vary from 0 to 100, with 5 being the increment. So let's do from 0 to 5, telling Excel that we are increasing by 5, and we drag up to 100. So that's the first one. And here I'm gonna do this step by step. You don't have to do it that way. You can directly just get a function profit equals to 100Q minus 5/6Q squared. You can directly draw that, but I'm gonna do the detail, okay, to demonstrate it clearly to you. So the first one, price equals to 1,000 minus a third of Q, which is Q over 3. So that is to say 1,000 minus here, Q is this one over 3. So, and then we drag it down. We have the price for each case, okay? That's the revenue price. And then let's look at the total revenue. Total revenue equals to, you can always put it here, just to give you an idea, price by quantity, right? So that's total revenue, but equal to price and quantity. So that's price 1 by quantity. Here we go. And we drag it all the way down. So we have the total revenue. And then we switch to cost. So for cost, there are 2 parts. The first one is cost of material that equals to price 2. So first, let's figure out the price of material. Okay, so that equals to 800 plus half of Q, which is Q over 2. So that is 800 plus Q over 2. So we have that. And then we drag it all the way down. We have the price. Okay. And then we need to figure out the total cost. Total cost is price 2 by quantity plus 100 by quantity. Don't forget the travel cost. And we drag it down. And eventually we have the profit, which is the difference between total revenue and total cost. We drag it down here. Yep, so that's correct. And then what we were asked is to draw the the graph. So here we insert, and we insert an empty line, okay? And then we select the data, and we add the y-axis, which is the profit for now, and its value should be everything here. And we have a graph of profit, but the horizontal axis is not right. The horizontal axis just tell you, oh, the first entry's corresponding profit is 0, and so on. And we want to change that in quantity. So now it changes into quantity, right? And it is more straightforward for us to see what it is. So that was the version that I provide to you as the final version of the question. Originally, what I asked was have all those 3 lines, 3 curves included in this graph. So we select another empty area and we go back to selecting all those variables. Okay, so those are the dependent variable. So we have the profit first, right? And then we can add total revenue. Total revenue, their value is from here to here. Okay, this is the reason why I eventually deleted the requirement of adding total revenue and total cost from this question, because that because the different magnitude that will make the profit curve not significant for you to observe. Okay, so we have this, and then don't forget we need to change the horizontal to the actual value of Q. All right, and here we go. And you can add something, you can add legend. So you can see which one is which. Okay, which line represents which variable. So this is question B, and then question C. Okay, so here, suppose the government impose a tax on the firm's product of $10 per ton, modify the spreadsheet, and find a new profit maximizing quantity. So what you need to do is modify this total cost. And now instead of 100 by A2, you need to change that into 110 by A2. And then the result of profit will change accordingly. I'll just give you a hint and leave it to you by yourself. And here, you should be able to, by hand, you should be able to work out an expression of profit like we just did. And using the formula of vertex, which is minus B over 2A, you can calculate this. And then compare that value to the graph of the profit. You should have exactly the same observation where the highest profit should be. Okay, so that is another thing that I would like to teach you in this class, which is the math should agree with the graph, and these should be mutually serving as a double check for each other. I hope this can be helpful. Thank you. Thank you for your questions.